Hello everyone, Fred here. In this installment of TPP Dynamite, I'm going to be reacting to the just released poster and first synopsis for James Gunn's upcoming film Superman. First things first though, if you haven't already, let me encourage you to subscribe to my channel. I post film, book, and TV series reviews. I do opinion pieces on entertainment, news, and affairs. I'm also an author of adult and young adult mystery novels. I recently released a new short mystery called The Intruder. There's a link to it in my video description below, and I encourage you to check it out as well. With that in mind, and without further ado, I'm going to just jump right into it. So DC Studios released the synopsis and first poster for James Gunn's upcoming film Superman yesterday, and promised that the movie's first trailer would be dropping this coming Thursday. I will probably be reviewing the trailer. I don't ordinarily review trailers, but I might this time just because of how important this film is going to be. It's not exaggerating to say that James Gunn's Superman will be the make or break point for the DCU for probably the next 10 years, and the first trailer is what's either going to start drawing or start losing the widespread audience attention that the DCU needs. But anyway, like I said, today I'm just going to react to the poster and synopsis. Alright, first, the poster. This poster is, depending on where you see it, either pretty bland or pretty great. If you see it as just a static poster, just an image, it's nothing special. It does focus solely on Superman versus the million other heroes and villains who are supposed to be in this movie, but that's about the only strong positive. The colors are overwhelming, and I do suspect that they were included as part of the studio's ploy to mask the baggy and cartoonish nature of the Superman suit itself. Surely enough, if you look closely at the arms in particular, you'll see a fair amount of those wrinkles. The colors, taken with their style of presentation, also make this poster to feel somewhat like a knockoff of a poster for Christopher Reeve's Superman. And that effect is only increased with that little caption, "Look up." It all just gives off that homey, simple, old world, safe, but iconically fantastical vibe that Christopher Reeve's Superman and Superman 2 exuded. Plus, just to say this yet again, I am not a fan of those silly trunks and the giant golden belt. I know that opinions differ strongly amongst fans on that point, and I know there's a large group of fans who like Superman's trunks for generally nostalgic reasons, but still, I don't think the trunks work well for Superman, especially in live action, and I haven't since I was a kid who didn't know better. I didn't think the trunks were impressive in all the behind the scenes shots that were released for this movie before this poster, and I don't think they're impressive now. The trunks don't really serve any purpose except just being there to inspire a sort of goofy nostalgia, and especially now when we're about 14 years into a world where comic books, superhero movies, and superhero TV series like The Boys and Invincible have conditioned us to expect more practical costume choices. I just think it's time to admit that if Superman is going to stay relevant in live action especially, his personality and powers should remain the same, but his costume needs to be changed by retiring those trunks indefinitely. I know some people have said that they don't much like the collar, but I'm not one of them. I think Injustice made that popular with some people. Meanwhile, some people can't stand it, but it really is just a matter of fashion choice to me. The suit can work with or without it. I don't care. Alright, that said, if you see this poster on Instagram, where James Gunn himself released it as a motion poster, you will be blown away because it is pretty great. The poster's light effects dance around Superman in a way that makes Superman look as if he's actually flying, and it gives off a gorgeous sort of Aurora Borealis vibe reminiscent of the North Pole, and that of course evokes Superman's iconic Fortress of Solitude. The movie's theme tune, also called Look Up, plays alongside the graphic, and it is a phenomenal, almost angelically inspirational sensation that nearly makes you feel like you can fly just by seeing the poster. The motion poster feels even more so like promotional art for Christopher Reeve's first two Superman movies, and if I had one concern about this movie just after seeing this poster, it would probably revolve around just how much James Gunn seems to be going out of his way to portray this movie as basically the Christopher Reeve Superman of the 21st century, despite that he's said his film will be more Silver Age inspired. How he's trying to sell us on David Corenswet as the reincarnation of Christopher Reeve, and David's Superman as the 21st century sole successor to Christopher Reeve's Superman. And that is a very tall order to fill, because Christopher Reeve's Superman was iconic at the time. There's really no evidence to suggest that James Gunn's film Superman will come close to that high watermark, either critically or financially, and frankly I do see it as yet another little red flag with this movie, that the poster has to be witnessed as a motion poster for the viewer to get the full effect, especially considering that most casual viewers are not going to see it on Instagram or whatever, but on billboards or on walls or on buses. Basically, James Gunn has made very bold promises about this film with his words, and now this poster, especially as a motion poster. Each time he does it, he just creates an even greater expectation of perfection from the audience, and James isn't going to be able to hide behind the words, the light shows, the sound effects forever. He's eventually going to have to put up or shut up. We're eventually going to have to watch the movie. Okay, now the synopsis. No matter where you see that, it's some pretty weak sauce. James Gunn takes on the original superhero in the newly imagined DC universe with a singular blend of epic action, humor, and heart, delivering a Superman who's driven by compassion and an inherent belief in the goodness of humankind. Yeah, that's really nothing more than the canned praise we've come to expect James Gunn to use when showering his own projects with affection. This really praises him more than Superman, and it tells us nothing about the movie that we didn't know already. It's not even so much a synopsis as a thumbnail for a review of the movie. On one hand, I don't like it. On the other hand, I would not have expected anything else. This movie is still about 7 months away, and it would not have been smart for the studio to release many more details regarding the movie at this point. Really, were I running DC Studios, I'm not sure I'd even be releasing a teaser trailer as early as this Thursday. I'd likely release the teaser in early January next year, then a first trailer during the Super Bowl. But that's a rabbit trail that I won't force right now. Bottom line, Superman's first poster is bland if seen as just a static image, but great if seen as a motion graphic. The synopsis is weak and little more than James Gunn's way of praising himself yet again for creating his own projects. Class dismissed. At any rate, tell me what you think about the first poster and the synopsis for Superman. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree? Are your feelings more complex? Sound off in the comments section below. Meanwhile, if you like this video and made it this far, don't forget to leave a like, click subscribe, ring that bell, and hey, follow me on social media as well. So long.